Hey folks, this is a very different video from what I do usually because we usually create guides about AI. But I've been thinking a lot, and a lot of people critique AI and say it's kind of like the predictor for the next word. And how far can AI go if it's just a simple predictor for the next word, right? Like we're not doomed. But I was like kind of thinking, like what if we, like as a humans, as a species, are the same. What if we're just a predictor for the next word? And I feel this sometimes, right? Like even when we make videos, I constantly and oftentimes I don't really know what the next word's gonna be until I say it, and then I'm kind of like figuring out the next word as I go. I also run into instances where I feel like I'm out of context. Like a lot of times when I'm learning something, and there's a lot to learn, yeah, especially with the AI stuff, and I'm not experienced in that new field. I feel like, oh my god, my context is overloaded. And coworkers has actually spotted this before in me before, where when I run out of context, I become stupid. Like, like there are times when my former boss, he would say like, oh, he would recognize times when I become stupid, and then he just won't talk to me because it's not efficient, right? He's like, oh yeah, Michael's out of context, just like just ignore him for a while, okay? Just wait till he compacts his memory, brings him back, that'll bring him back to life, right? So I've been thinking about this a lot, I've been researching a bit, and I just want to have like a kind of that discussion with you guys about this because whilst I'm not a neuroscientist, right, that's a completely different field. I do have science experience. I did a quick search for some videos, asking AI, obviously, but you might think that's skewed. But I do think it's quite interesting because um, our brains. Well, think of it this way: AI models are based on how our brain thinks, and the neural network mimics our own neurons, right? And we also have mechanisms here where we tag certain events. And this is something I found interesting with neuroscience, and I kind of experienced this myself, where um, throughout the day, you when you're studying, you have to pace yourself when you study, right? This is especially true when I was like during exam taking season or whatnot, where like you'll strategically do one study session, wait for compaction, wait for your brain to replay automatically events, and then space them out so you don't like have like a 4 hour study session. For me, it only works if it's like burst 20-30 minute study session, then I take a break, have some coffee, come back to it. So this kind of mimics, or this kind of is an experience of the UMAP like compaction, right? Where we actually automatically replay events, and during sleep we replay them again, but we make it more compressed. So it's very very similar to how like an agent every night, because we've been talking about how the new OpenClaw update they have the dreaming feature. So that dreaming feature is literally kind of based on human psychology, but yes, during our sleep, we also replay events that happen during the day. Any significant events that are tagged during the day, right? They get replayed so that this can be integrated into our own memory system. So I don't know. I found that kind of to be kind of interesting because like I almost see this convergence happening where we're slowly building systems that more and more mimic what humans do, and they kind of almost behave like humans in that sort of way. So I've seen a lot of software engineers, they completely disregard. They just think of AI as a tool, and they're not sentient or whatnot. But the scary thing here is, aren't we building systems that are closely becoming more and more like humans and more sentient? It's also interesting that like humans also predict words like that come next. There's not too much um I would say good research on the brain. I think the kind of the key joke here when I started this whole thing was like um we design AI systems mimicking brain functions so we can better understand the brain. because we don't have any good understanding of the brain, right? We just have a bunch of scans and we have a bunch of hypotheses and we know which like areas light up when certain things happen, but we don't have like system level access to the brain. So like we can't look at the brain's code or whatnot. But we kind of mimicked these brain neurological systems and designed these neural networks based on the brain. But it turns out we don't have like an understanding of what these neural networks do either, right? So that was kind of a stupid joke because like when the AI converts everything to a map and certain neurons light up or whatnot, it takes a lot of analysis. There was a very good video on this about H neurons, like why AI lies to us. Neurons. It was a great, very video on this where researchers have found this was a great video, by the way. Let me skip through the ads. I don't know why I have ads on here. But this was talking about like research trying to figure out if we can stop AI from lying to us, stop these hallucinations, right? And what they found was, which was quite interesting, was that there's certain neurons that are responsible for this. They call them H neurons. So when they fire, they tend to trigger this type of hallucination or crazy behavior. And what's kind of interesting, I would say, is that the brain is a little bit more complicated than computer systems, right? So they traced which certain neurons are firing when they lie, and they kind of tag them. Maybe that can happen in our brain too. And I was kind of thinking like this yet again. This is a topic where it's hard to discuss on YouTube because um, it's like where am I going with this? It's just an observation, right? But I kind of noticed this that because our brain is not just electrical inputs, it's also chemical inputs. So I was kind of thinking like when you take certain chemicals, it can trigger certain neurons, very much similar to how H neurons can be kind of tuned up or down, right? Say if you have a drink, right? You take a drink, right? It might be the case that the drink, because of the chemical messaging related to that drink, it affects certain neurons and it changes the weights of those neurons or in our brain. So then your personality changes because it affects how we predict the next word or how in our mind we're thinking, right? So I don't know, like the chemical effects of this, right? It's probably a lot more, more aggressive drugs will probably have different tuning, and then those neurons, it will favor certain neurons, and those neurons would greatly affect our behavior. So yeah, like brain is a combination of both electrical inputs and chemical inputs, and which is why I was thinking in many ways, like let's say if you get really angry, right? Like if you get really angry at something and you just like you get laser focused on the anger and it does certain things, but if you like walk off for like 5 minutes, the anger fades because the chemical messengers are no longer active. So if that's the case, then we have a clear understanding, and then like after like a fight or something like that, you kind of reconcile and change how you speak, right? So it's interesting if we're just like LLMs, but like we have dynamically tunable neurons based on chemical messengers. I thought that'd be a kind of like a good research, like a maybe a good PhD paper. But I think that's kind of interesting because when I was watching this video, I was 100% thinking, like this is exactly what happens. Like we're tuning neurons on the fly, but based on chemical messaging, right? So yeah, I feel like there's just a lot more similarity and with our brain and humans and LLMs than we think. Previously, obviously, when people were looking at LLMs before OpenClaw, it became popular, I think a lot of the considerations were that, AI doesn't have memory. Every time you start a new session of Grok, it forgets everything, right? But now we're building systems that do mimic, humans. So at what point do we really reach a level where like we're very similar? Where like I wouldn't say it's conscious. Okay, I think we still wouldn't go as far as that, but they would mimic consciousness because these systems are designed so similarly to how humans think. Well, anyways, this is just food for thought. I thought it's kind of interesting, and if you actually want to look at how our brain works, I think there's quite a few good research papers on that. Like if you reach them, it's like you actually you like it's funny because yet again, science is very specialized, right? My previous experience was with chemistry, but like once I did more AI work, I started becoming more attuned to the neurological research, right? Because there's just so many similar concepts. And even now, like I'm starting to use terms like, oh yeah, I'm running out of context. Give me like 5, 10 minutes. Let me compact that. And then you sit there, you compact yourself, right? And then you become smarter, right? It's exactly like how an AI model behaves, right? Like you literally just take a 20-minute break, all right? You wait for the auto compaction to occur, and then yeah, you now you have full intelligence to tackle your next task. Anyways, I just found that was something I've been observing, and I want to see your feedback, guys, on this. This is yet again a different, very different type of video. Like, do you guys experience that? Are you starting to use like these AI terms in real day life? Like, oh, I need a REM, I need like a dream session to compact my memory. Like, does that happen with you guys? I'm very curious. Anyways, that's as long as I think this video should go for. I will definitely do more research if this gets any interest with you guys. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. See you guys in the next one. Peace.